giant gave the order, and millions of giants began climbing the vines. The rapidly spreading plants wrapped around the entire city. Humanity was on the verge of total annihilation. But what no one knew was that the vine they thought they had cut down had already grown back. A seed had fallen in giant territory, planted by the two-headed giant himself. The moment it hit water, it burst through the ground. The giant army came pouring down the vines. Jack rode hard trying to warn everyone, but it was already too late. Herds of giants used their sheer size to crush everything in their path, and began slaughtering without mercy. Survivors scrambled desperately toward the castle. The captain had already set up the defense. The moment the king and princess made it through the gate, he ignited the oil in the moat, and raised the drawbridge. Jack made a flying leap onto the bridge at the very last second before it closed. A storm of arrows flew out. The two-headed giant fell into the wall of fire, but nobody realized his companion had never planned to save him. That wild-haired giant had been plotting to take over all along. Watching his rival burn, he smiled with a look of pure satisfaction, then turned and launched a full assault with the entire giant army. Humans fought back with everything they had, but it wasn't enough. The king knew the gap in strength was too wide. He ordered Jack to get the princess out, not knowing that the two-headed giant who had fallen into the fire had followed the water current into a hidden passage. Once it picked up the princess's scent, it destroyed everything around it, forcing Jack and the princess out into the open. The princess was instantly snatched up. Jack's spear moved fast, but not fast enough, and the damage it did going into the giant's body was barely better than a mosquito bite. Both of them were about to become food. Life and death came down to a single moment. Then something clicked in Jack's mind. He pulled out the last seed from his necklace, and hurled it with full force straight at the giant's throat. In an instant, countless vines tore through the body from the inside, growing wildly and ripping through flesh and bone. The two-headed giant was shredded to pieces in seconds, but the castle gates had already been broken through. The advancing giant army had pushed humanity into a corner. Fighting to the death seemed like the only option left. Then vines burst through the walls without warning, and every eye in the place turned toward them. The giants stopped in their tracks and lowered their weapons, then dropped to their knees in perfect unison. Jack had gotten the crown that made every giant bow down. Humanity was going to make it. Jack did what his ancestors had done before him, drove every giant back to their own territory, and cut down every last vine for good. He proved to the king through everything he had done that a princess's happiness didn't have to depend on wealth or status. One ordinary boy saved all of humanity with courage and nothing but his wits.